This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Hey there, everybody. We'll get started here shortly. Silk is running a little bit late. Obviously, we're going to let a few more people pop in here as well. So sit back, relax, everybody. We'll get started here shortly. Hang in there. If you guys don't mind, the ones that are in here, repost this space so we can get some more ears on here. Silk is going to be talking about the movie that she was recently in, Pardon Me, the Bevelyn Williams true story about her being falsely accused and incarcerated and then pardoned by Trump. So, yes, please, if you guys don't mind reposting the space. Hey there, Santino. I sent you the co-host, my friend. Waiting for Silk. She just messaged me and said she's going to be a little bit late. How you doing, Santino?
Hi, Jenny. How are you? I'm doing great. How are you doing today, this evening?
I'm good. Just been busy doing shows and then, of course, doing my day gig in between all that. But everything's good. How are you since I've seen you the other night?
Well, that was a busy day for me. I had my space in the morning, which was epic, and then I had that one in the evening, which was double epic. So I got over that, and then I took a bit of a break, and I was just, doing some stuff and, doing some digging, posting, connecting a lot of dots, especially with President Trump when he was playing Elvis Presley. I kind of went down that whole little bit and kind of connect this to this to this to this. So, but it's all great. It's all good. Thank you.
A lot of deep rabbit holes for sure. And Silk, I sent you the co-host, my friend. Man, girl, I missed you. I got a lot of questions for you. Let me know when you get that co-host, my friend. And Santino, if you don't mind doing your wonderful thing, try to get some more people in here.
Yep. Yeah, can everybody please go down to the purple pill? That's at the bottom right of your phone. We do have a purple pill. If you want to post anything, please post anything down there. Anything you feel like we need to look at or talk about. Can you go in there and please tap and share the space, like and share the space, quote and share the space. If you are part of any group DMs, please go in there as well and share the space too. Get some more people in here. We have the famous, most famous lady in
Silk.
here. So, yep. And I'm just thinking as I'm talking. Yes, she's here today. She's gonna be answering and talking, and I'm really excited. So, if you guys could please do that, that I really, really appreciate it. So, Jenny, thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you, Santino. Also, everybody, for those of you that don't know who I am Jenny. I am the owner and the host of the Revival of America. We are being listened to in over 100 countries, everybody. So please share this out. I want to help Silk. Silk's, I would, well, Silk, if many of you don't know, has been recently in a movie called Pardon Me. So I'd like to help her and Bevelyn Williams get some eyes on it. I'll let Silk kind of talk a little bit more about that and maybe some of the challenges that they have had in getting it into theaters. But Silk, how are you, my friend? I've missed you.
Ooh,
It's been a while. You've
yes,
been a busy beaver. What's up, superstar?
girl, you said it right. A busy bee for real. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm not talking about the bumblebee. I'm telling you, I have been so busy. Mm, all I can. But at the end of the day, God is good. God is good with everything that's going on. God is good. But I've been very busy. But I miss you all. I really, truly have missed you all.
We've missed you too, and I want to say thank you for the invite to go down there to Georgia to be some press for you guys on Pardon Me, but it was just such short notice. I
Yes,
do own a business here,
yes.
and any other time I would have been able to, but I would love for you because I know Bevelyn and I we talked, and she was so busy too. I know we had to reschedule our show here because you were in travels to get down there to the premiere, and she was
Mhm.
busy We had it scheduled. Our schedules just collided, and she just was so busy trying to get everything done and get this thing in the theaters. But can you talk to us a little bit about the movie, what it's about, the challenges that maybe you have had in regards to getting some eyes on it? You know, with the theaters and stuff like that, it's pretty discouraging. But I would really love everybody to hear that so we can help get more eyes on this for you guys.
Thank you so much. The name of the movie is called Pardon Me, the Beverly B. Williams story. Is based on a true story of this young woman who was sentenced to 41 months in prison during the Biden regime, Letitia James and all of those people. And she was separated from her family, her only child, her daughter, did 3 months plus a few days in prison until President Donald J. Trump pardoned her and some more pro-lifers earlier in January of this year. And so that's what the movie is about. It's an incredible movie, an inspirational movie, a non-woke movie. So after filming there in Dallas, Texas, it's an American-based movie, so it was filmed in Dallas, Texas. Everything was going well, going great. With the theaters and all, and then all of a sudden towards the last few days in the month of July, the word came down to us that no movie theaters want to play this particular movie, that there's no audience for this movie, and so once that came down the pipeline, of course, as human beings, everybody was a little saddened by that. But one thing we know to do, especially Beverly and I, is know to pivot. We know to pivot, and we're like, okay, what are the other options out there? Because we want to make sure that this movie is out there for people to see. So now everybody can go to watchpardonme.com, watchpardonme.com. They can stream the movie from there. Also, we've asked the churches to turn your sanctuaries into theaters, and a lot of people have jumped on board. So a lot of the churches are streaming the movie because they already have the setup component, the big screen and the media component in order to screen the movie to their sanctuary, to their congregation. So also community centers, people that have venues that have all of the mechanisms that's in place already to be able to screen the movie. But what was really upsetting about everything in this whole ordeal is to feel left behind as an American citizen, to see how American theaters in America refuse to play this American-made movie. But I see a lot of foreign movies, and I see a lot of movies about a lot of different things where children can't even go see. Look at Snoop Dogg. He just basically said something about that. And to see how illegal aliens can come into our country, have access to everything that we as American citizens strive for. But me as an American citizen, the individuals that is in the movie are American citizens. To say no to us, to slam the door in our face and say we have no audience. And then they turned around. Of course, they said that the movie, they labeled it as a pro-life movie and a political movie. Well, I've seen plenty of pro-life movies out there. I've seen plenty of movies out there about abortions and Planned Parenthood. I've seen plenty of movies out there, political movies out there. They have a whole series. Was that the Good Fight, based off of President Trump administration. Nothing is said about that. And if they can take and create a movie, make a movie, several movies about a man who kidnapped his victims, killed his victims, and turned around and ate his victims, then this particular movie should not be an issue. Especially this movie right here is also based on a true story. So, but once you get over that and you realize that at the end of the day, God gets the glory. God gets the glory in all of this. And those who will see the movie, and we're going to continue to press forward with pushing this particular movie, Pardon Me, the Bevelyn B. Williams story. And everybody, once again, can go to watchpardonme.com in order to either stream the movie or see where a movie is coming at in your location. I know we have something coming up in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Atlanta, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina. And at some of those screenings, I do plan to be there. You can get your VIP ticket. Bevelyn and myself plan to be at some of those. There'll be a few of them where she'll be there, and I won't be able to attend, but you can still get your VIP tickets at watchpardonme.com, or just get the tickets in order just to go and be with like-minded people.
So, Silk, regarding this movie, for those that don't know, we know she was, sentenced by the Biden regime for 41 months. But this movie, really, everybody, is about, I believe it's about when New York decided to say that they could have abortions up till 9 months, right? I think that's kind of where she came in and is like, okay, well, this isn't right. Now I'm going to go start to protest. Is that correct?
From my understanding, Bevelyn B. Williams was a pro-lifer. She did a lot of different activist things, but that was one of the issues that they took and prosecuted her on, for being there in New York in front of one of the abortion clinics. And they said that she violated the FACE Act of 1994. So technically, she is the first Black woman to be found guilty and prosecuted of violating the FACE Act. And when you look at her record, the records, after they sentence her and they give her time, the records basically state assembly unlawful, meaning unlawfully assembling. Okay, so that's technically what she was sentenced to, even though the media wanted to look like it was about something else. And so that's another reason why I wanted to get behind this particular movie, is because, just looking at my sister and I and how we were vilified in the media for such a long time. And we, thank God, we had a platform to be able to tell the truth about what was really happening, versus that whatever particular narrative that they wanted to put out there to stay out there. They couldn't do it because we were there to say, no, that ain't what happened. Well, with Bevelyn, and even down to the J. Sitzers, a lot of people, they don't have an opportunity to tell their side of the story, to tell the truth about what's happening. And a lot of times you don't find out about anything until 10, 15 years later, So, but from my understanding, I want people to understand that this movie is based about even her when she was young, and how she grew up and where she came from. A lot of people don't know that about Bevelyn, and how she became a pro-lifer. Well, how did she get into becoming and being part of the pro-life? What changed her? That's what this movie is about. Baby parts are not laid out across the table being optional for organ harvesting. So it's not about Planned Parenthood, because that's what Planned Parenthood basically at the end of the day is all about. Okay. But this movie is about her life story and how she got to the point of becoming a pro-lifer and being sentenced to 41 months in prison for protesting against the killing of babies. She wants babies living, not being killed. And another thing about this here story, I believe that had a very bad impact on the decision, whoever made the decisions there at the theaters, that Bevelyn do not fit the status quo of the liberal. She's a Black woman, and she's fighting and out there advocating for babies to live, not be killed. So she go totally against the liberal narrative as a Black woman. And I believe that, the evils that be don't want individuals to see that. They don't want them to know that there's individuals out here that goes against their liberal ideology and want to actually save baby lives. So I think that was another component in it, and I hope I answered your question, Jenny.
Yeah, you did a great job. Thank you, Silk. Also, tell us a little bit about. Well, first of all, I mean, what can we do as we the people to help get this movie out, to help get eyes on it for Bevlin? I know I am all about helping whatever way I can, but for everybody else here in the audience, and then who listens to the replay after this, what can we do to help get the eyes that need to be on this for Bevlin?
What you can do is go to watchpardonme.com, watchpardonme.com. If you are a church or a organization and you want to screen this movie out to your audience, please do so. They have an option there that you can, do the screening. They also have an option where you can do the streaming of the movie if you want to just stream it on your cell phone or stream it on the computer, what have you. And just let everybody know. Tell everybody to go there to watch this phenomenal movie. Tell people. Open up your mouth and tell people. Tell people what the theater's done to us. Tell people what they're doing to us. I know I've noticed that a lot of people, they stop going to a lot of the theaters anyway because of all of the sinister stuff that goes on in the movie theaters. But once again, they said that we had no audience for this. So let the world know there is an audience for this particular movie, and just continue to share it. That's pretty much all that we can do. Open up our mouths. Don't sit back and be scared, but just share and tell the story and go and see it for yourself.
Amen, my friend. I will absolutely do everything in my power to keep sharing this out for you. And then, why don't you tell everybody what was your part in the movie? I saw your little clip of it, and you're so cute. You're so cute, Silk. I love you, but I would love for you to share that with everybody.
Girl, that camera made me look big as a hog. But
Oh, come on!
it's all good. I'm telling you, look, the camera.
You look good.
I know, but the camera added like 10, 20 pounds to you. And sometimes when people come
Yeah.
to the VIPs and they be like, oh my God, you ain't nowhere as big as you are with how you look over the camera. I was like, girl, and I'm all short too. They like, you look bigger. Then I was like, no, honey, I'm a little shorty around here. But anyway, I played the role of the interviewer. Interviewing to, how you have the storyline to continue on in the movie. So I was part of telling part of the story where it continued on throughout the movie. And that's the role that I played. So they wanted me to play this role of somebody named, I believe it was somebody named Jenny or something. And when I got there, they said, no, you're going to play Silk. You're going to play your own role. So they wanted me to just be Silk, be myself, and be off the cuff and as authentic as possible. And I had so much fun doing it. And I want people to understand, if you've never been on a production scene or in the middle of a production where there's lights, cameras, actions, I'm telling you, y'all, I am just blessed to be able to be in the middle of that. I mean, it was a true production. Incredible.
So well deserved. I'm so proud of you, Silk. You did a great job. So great
Thank
job.
you.
And yeah, I'm trying to get Bevelyn back on here, get her on here, and we can talk more about her movie. But I'm so proud of you. I'm honored to have you on here and to say that, you're a part of this movie, because this movie's gonna bring a lot of attention to a lot of things. So that's so awesome that you're a part of
Can
it.
I also say, Jenny, too, with this movie, there's pieces in this movie that's going to resonate with everybody. I don't care if you're black, white, pinstripe, polka dot, or plaid, left wing, right wing, or in between with the side of onion rings. I don't care what you are, who you are. If you are a living being, somewhere in this movie, some piece of it is going to resonate with you. Yeah.
And that's good. And it talks, it talks a lot too about, what's going on with the children and all these abortions. So, what's going to unite everybody? The children. So that's awesome. So I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad. How did the premiere go? Was it fun? Was it
The premiere was so fun. It was so fun to be able to sit there in a room and hear the oh my God, and the ohs and the laughter and the crying, the tearing up and everything, all of the different emotions that the movie entails, and being there with like-minded individuals, for the ones that was able to make it. Once again, keep in mind that once everything came down the pipeline from the theaters and everything was off the table, we had to go into action. So we was working very, very hard behind the scenes, trying to get everything done, including the premiere, because the premiere was actually off the table it was actually off the table until a beautiful gentleman, Pastor Harding there in Austell, Georgia, said he wanted to open up his doors to have the premiere there. And so it was on again. But, you know, for everybody that got an invite, and if you couldn't make it, I totally understand. It was still a phenomenal event.
Now here you're going
I can't
East
hear
Coast
you.
with it.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Okay, say that again.
So you say you're going to take it, try to get it in different areas on the East Coast. Are you going to be bringing it to the West Coast too?
Wherever God allows. So if there's any churches that's on the West Coast, the South Coast, the other coast, whatever coast they want it to be, if there's any churches that want to screen the movie, show the movie to their congregation, or open up their doors, you never know, you may get a new member behind all of this. But if you have the components, the capability to be able to do it, you can go to watchpardonme.com, click on the information to fill out the application so that we can get everything approved for you. And then you'll be able to screen the movie directly in your congregation. So it doesn't matter where you're at, anywhere in the world, I don't care if you're in another country, you can still show this movie to your congregation or to whomever you want to. Now, let me also say that the Caribbean, they did 2 theaters over in the Caribbean. They didn't have a problem with playing this movie. So outside of the United States, they are, I feel like about like Jesus, where your own didn't even receive you. But outside of the United States, they played it in the Caribbean, thank God. And but once again, wherever you're at in this entire world, I don't care where you're at, if you want to have a screening of this movie in your church, your community centers, some people are even talking about going to rent out a theater. They pay for all of the seatings in there and just open up the doors for people to come in to see this movie. You're welcome to do that as well.
So the goal is to eventually, I'm assuming, to get it into the theaters, right? Is that eventually the goal that you guys are trying to do?
You know what? If you ever want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Well, I didn't even have no plans for this. So the goal is for God to get the glory in the end, and not to put any limitations on anything. So if God wanted outside of the theaters, and outside of the theaters it will be, because there's more churches than theaters anyway. If God wanted in the theaters, then guess what? It will be in the theaters. At this time, I've decided to let go and let God. And so whatever's going to be, going to be. I will not put any limitations on God.
Amen. I love that, Silk. All right, everybody. And then Rosie, I see you have your hand up. Do you have a question for Silk? And then Silk, we can go further into maybe kind of talk about some of the great things that are happening with our great president. But go ahead, Rosie.
Hey, good evening,
Hi.
Jenny and and Silk. I'm so happy to see this movie come out. I have been watching Bevelin since 2020. Being in New York, it was that was really a really hard time to be in a blue state. And she's a superhero, guys. Like, she would go, her and Edda May, they would go around the city. And they would be like, they were on mission all the time, and they would go live, and I would watch it live. And they're fierce, just fierce warrior women for God. And they were such a good testimony, and truly like a hero to me. And to see what happened, it broke my heart to see, what she had to go through, and being imprisoned after so much. And she, oh my God, Bevelin put in time and worked, and she didn't ask for anything in return. So this movie is a gift, and I believe that Bevelin is going to continue to really just inspire women of God, and really, really just show us just the power that we have and that He gives us. And I admire her so much. And so I'm so glad that you worked with her on this movie, and I can't wait to see it myself.
Bless your heart. Thank you so much, Rosie. And you're absolutely right. She's a beautiful individual. At May is also wonderful. And they were on a mission, and they are still on a mission. you know, and it's an incredible movie. It's an incredible story, and it's their story. And what I love about the fact is that I'm part of it. I get to be part of it. I was asked to be a part of it, and I'm grateful that God allowed me the opportunity to be a part of it, for the world to actually see what went on, what happened, and understand how it happened. And at such a time as this, to be able to tell the truth about it, that's a very incredible thing. Very incredible thing. So everybody that's under the sound of my voice, watch PardonMe.com. Go and see this movie. Share this movie. Share it everywhere. I don't care where it's at. Share,
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
and share. I want this movie to be one of the movies in history that blows out everything, blows out all of the narratives. It does more than just you just sit there and you watch it. I want you to be able to feel it so that you can understand it. And I believe that it's also going to change a lot of hearts once you see it.
One of my favorite things that, and I'm so sorry to just say this one more thing, but Bevelyn always said back in 2020, she said, it was during the Black Lives Matter thing, and she said, nothing matters until Jesus matters. And she just kept saying it over and over. And for those of us who are believers, nothing matters till Jesus matters, because everything falls into place when you invite Jesus into the equation.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that, Rosie, because once the theaters did what they did and so forth, and then when people came back or whatever, it's like, well, we done did it the industry way. We did it the industry way. Now we got to let go and let God do it his way. Because at the end of the day, God wants the glory behind all of this. So what is it? Have your way, God. I'm just here as a vessel, pushing whatever God wants me to push.
Amen. And beautifully said, Rosie. Thank you for that. And Santino, you're in the industry of, the movie world. Do you want to maybe talk about a little bit? Have any questions for Silk? Go for it, Santino.
I was just listening to Silk, and she's absolutely correct. When you're talking about the film industry, it's grueling hours, and all the turnarounds and filming and getting the right shot and what have you. But when it comes to the film industry, they always have their ideology that they're pushing through. So if something goes against the grain, what they don't want to put out there, they're going to ignore it. They're going to neglect it. They're not going to even double take it. So what they do is they just say we're not going to show it. So that's what happens in the films, in the theaters, like she was saying. So you have to branch out and do something independently, like have churches show it, and you can watch it online. And that's how you can also get that streaming more and get it more powerful. You see, Hollywood is not the end all of everything. It's not the place. You don't need Hollywood to become something. You can become something on your own grade. So like she was saying, Jenny, that she could actually go out. There's different ways, putting it online, posting, get people posting it as well, and getting out that way. But there was another thing I was going to point out. When you talk about those other two films, when it's talking about, like, this is a really interesting topic, because when you talk about if these walls could talk, they had part 1, part 2. When you look at those movies, they had no problem showing those on the theaters, because they had these A-list actors there, and that was the agenda they wanted to push, right? They wanted to push that topic. But this goes sort of against it. So no, this doesn't go with what we want to push into society. So they're not even going to bother with it. And that's where we're at today. So, I suggest people just, take the film, watch it. Like, even people like the woke people that watched, those other two films that were about child trafficking. I watched one of my cousins who speaks a lot about these things, right? And she helps women, embrace themselves and makes them stronger, and but you see, she watched it, and when I heard her talking about it, there were certain parts that she didn't want to discuss when she was talking about it. She was talking about trafficking, but she wasn't talking about the children. She completely ignored that part, and she made it about just women, and that's where the disconnect happens. So anyway, keep going, and just push it out there, and help each other. You have to help. You have to
Yes.
just do that, right?
Yes, it's grassroots. It's a grassroots effort. I've been here before, been doing it for a very long time, especially since I've been in the political arena. So it is what it is. This is something that I am familiar with. The sad thing is that um, if you are considered a place and a space for people to go and see movies at, like you are the theater, right? Uh, and you are licensed. You have to be licensed. You have to have that building. That's the service that you offer. Then I don't think that people should be allowed to just turn different things down because it goes against their ideology. I found out that some of the higher ups, they were part of Planned Parenthood. Okay, all right, that you are, part of Planned Parenthood. That ain't none of my business. Look, here's a movie here that is based on a true story, and it's the quality. They said that the quality was good. It wasn't nothing wrong with the quality. They, everything needed to be in the right format. Get the posters over. Do this, do that. So it's not like it wasn't happening. It was happening. Okay. But if this is the service that you offer, then why slam the door in one face because of your ideology when it's your service? That's just like me going to get my car washed. And while you're in the midst of cleaning my car, you find out I'm a Trump supporter. But then you say, "Oh no, I can't wash your car no more. I can't do anything to your car because you are a Trump supporter." Well, hold on. This is a car wash. And your job and your service and what you're licensed to do is to wash my car, vacuum my floor, make sure there ain't no crumbs in my carpet, right? That's what your job description is. That's what I bought my car here for, not to come here and to debate who's better as the president. That's not what this is about. So I just think that even though we talk about Hollywood, still with the industry itself, they should not be allowed to push just their ideology and that's it. If that be the case, is any of our tax dollars being laundered to them or going to them in any way, shape, size, or form for them to be able to have a business called the theaters? If so, all of our federal funding, any funding, need to be pulled back, because what they're doing is called discrimination. You're discriminating against me based off of my political ideology or affiliation. And with doing so, no money, no dollars of our tax dollars should be sent to any of these different industries that discriminate against anybody. Because if you are a service and if you are a licensed service, as a licensed service, all we're there for is your service, not to be here debating about Joe Biden or President Trump.
Amen. Well said. Thank you, Santino. Thank you, Silk. All right. Anybody have questions for Silk? Please feel free to request a mic. I will unmute your mic. But in the meantime, Silk, we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Before we switch gears, let me just say that we have Black China, Angela White.
Oh, yeah.
Black China. This is her first leading role in a movie. She wanted to do this movie. She resonated with Bevelin and she wanted to do this movie. We have Erica Hubbard. We have oh Lord, I just saw their face. Where your face at? Where did their face go to? I was just looking at their face so I can line everything up. It was so beautiful. We have Rampage Savage, Josie Davis. We have Rico. We have the Peter Pan man. That's Sumter. What's his name? Sumter. We also have the guy that played Eazy-E, Jason Mitchell. That's also in this movie. And we also have Columbus Short. He was there with Chris Brown and Stomp the Yard. So he plays Ricky in this movie. Black China plays Bevelin in this movie. And Erica Hubbard, she played Etme in this movie. And so we have a wonderful cast for this particular movie. And it was a mixture of individual. When they came in and was called about the role, no questions was asked about their political affiliation. It was about, can you do this role? As an actor, as an actress, can you do this role? We wanted you to act this part out. It wasn't about who you voted for before. So they offered their service. It was their service they got paid for. Their service in acting and being a actress or actor. That was their service. Okay. And I just needed to bring that to everybody's attention. Oh, and Pharaoh.
No, I love that.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for doing that, Silk. I was going to actually ask you about the cast. And you know what? Silk
Mhm.
plays
Oh,
herself.
yes.
She plays Silk.
So good.
Our lovely Silk. So everybody check out the movie. It's Pardon Me, the story of Beverly Williams. It's a very inspiring and truthful story. So that's what we're trying to get out is the truth, right, everybody? So help her get this trailer out. The trailer is out there. Go watch it. Pardonme.com.
Let's watch
And let's
Pardon Me. Watch
watch
pardonme.com.
watchpardonme.com and let's help get the word out for her because this is an important movie, I think, when it comes to the children and her life story that we need to share far and wide.
Amen.
So with that, so Silk,
Yeah.
so everything's going on in the world and we are seeing a lot of great things happening. Of course, there's always the naysayers and the BSers out there, right? So like I tell my audience all the time, be careful who you listen to, who you follow, what you're
Mhm.
putting in your mind.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about what's going on? I'm sitting back watching this and just watching this puzzle finally all connecting. Everything is coming to fruition that we have been talking about for so long. The biblical part of it we have been seeing. We're seeing it even more clear now. What do you tell those people out there that are maybe struggling to find out who do they trust, who do they listen to, where do they go? I tell people if they're looking for somebody really to look to and follow and listen to, first of all, God is your first.
Amen.
Secondly, go follow Donald Trump because he's literally telling us without directly telling us.
Yes.
So I'm trying to keep the high vibes with the audiences that I speak to or the people I speak to because there's so much doom and gloom out there. What do you want to say to the
Well, let
audience
me
about
say
that?
this right here. President Trump is very transparent. You can see straight through him because he gonna tell you
Yep.
everything. He just tell you right on. He tell it how it is, how he feel it. If it's bullshit, it's bullshit. He just gonna say it. He just call it right on out. You a liar? Who are you with? Oh no, you the fake news. Who's an ass? He's just straight up. But listen, this is what you do. You compare, you make your comparison. For 4 years under Jim Crow Joe Biden's regime, they wanted you to put poison in your arms. They wanted you to put an experimental set of chemicals in your body. They pushed for you to do that. And they said, if you don't do it, you can't work. Yeah, you can't have this. We don't want you a part of society unless you pump this poison in your own body, like they own you. President Trump ain't did that yet. If anything, he's trying to bring money over here into our country, bring the jobs back into our country, silify us, silify where America is great, the greatest on earth is what President Trump is trying to do, and make sure you have more money in your pocket. Now, with everything I just said, which one? Do you want to be under somebody? Okay, because what gets me is these Democrats that come back. He's doing this. He's doing that. But they had 4 years. They had 4 years. And look at what they did to our country in 4 years. But for the betterment of the American citizens, Democrats did absolutely nothing. They was using our money, our American tax dollars, to take care of illegal aliens. They called them their newcomers. Y'all know Democrat? The Democrat is the party of slavery. They are the ones that fought to keep slaves enslaved. That's what the Democrat Party did. They are the party of the KKK, of the white supremacists, of the Jim Crow. All right. So now, what they see in a lot of Black people starting to wake up, they're like, oh my God, we need some new bodies. And body would do. So they went ahead. Oh, Joe Biden, they opened up the border. They kept bringing them in from everywhere, anywhere. We don't care. Place them here, place them there. We need to get another seat in the House. This is how we get another representative. Place them here, put them there. Oh, I don't care if they kill up American citizens. We want them here. Oh, no, let's give them some money. Let's go into the Social Security. Let's go into the American Citizen Savings Account, into their Social Security, and let's just go ahead on and let's give them 3 hots and a cot. Yeah, we're going to give them a cot in a nice luxury hotel. We don't care if they tear it up. Let's just give to these people because we need their bodies. We need their votes. Line them up at the DMV. Let them get a driver's license so they can have we can say that they have voting rights. Yes, let's make them all, just make them all citizens some kind of way. Okay. And so that they can be here because we need their bodies. They use and abuse these people. Then they turned around and called them brown. And I said, they not brown, they beige. So call them right first off. All right. That's what they did under Jim Crow Joe Biden. What did President Trump do? And what is he doing? He closed the border. He's deporting those individuals back. Now jobs are opening up. Jobs are opening up for Americans. People can see their way now. People are starting to see something they hadn't seen in a very, very, very long time. Under Joe Biden, they lost their savings accounts. Some of them lost their family members. They lost their bank accounts. They lost their jobs. They lost a lot of stuff under Joe Biden. But under President Trump, people starting to gain that stuff back because he's showing people, hey, it don't have to be hard out here. It don't have to be hard out here the way they want you to think that it's hard out here. Now, let's just look at how they took and allowed this illegal alien to get CDL license. And this person, he can't even speak English or read the signs. And he made an illegal U-turn in the middle of the highway and killed up a family. All right. Let's just look at that. Now, let's look at how we have American citizens who's probably who went to prison, and they're out of prison. They paid their money to go to truck driving school. They got their license, did the training, got their license, got their CDL license, and can't get a job driving trucks because they have a felony against their records. But we got an illegal aliens that's not even supposed to be here in our country, sitting here with CDL license here in America. Yeah. So which one do you want? Do you want somebody that is more like a vegetable? Look more like a vegetable, and I'm not talking about no cucumber or no collard greens, okay? Or do you want somebody that look like a real man, don't have a problem going toe-to-toe against the status quo, don't have a problem with telling the truth and giving the proof all at the same doggone time, somebody that don't have a problem meeting with Putin, don't have a problem meeting with Zelensky and tell them, hey, you need to put on a suit, you need to dress up, you need to be presentable when you come see me. Jim Crow Joe Biden ain't did nothing. He didn't even know he was here in the world if he was coming or going. Do you want somebody that don't have a problem talking to you and seeing what the problem is to see how we can solve the problem? Or do you want somebody that's just going to speak a few words at you and you don't know what the hell they done said? So that's the decisions that people have to wake up, and we have to see like it's a difference between night and day. Do you want somebody that's against you, or do you want someone that is for you? Okay. And the Democrats have clearly proven and shown that they don't give a damn about America or its citizens right here in America. Because if they did, there's no way they will be pushing back against these illegal aliens going back to their own foreign land.
I love that. Well said, Sil. Good job. Yes, everybody. So pay attention to Trump. He's, like I said, he's telling us without directly telling us. And Silk said it best. He's very transparent, right?
Yeah.
And I think just everybody needs to get excited. What do you think with, everything going on in DC and everything? What do you foresee? Do you see he's going to go up into Chicago next, or where do you think he's going to go?
Thank you for reminding me about that. Listen. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, if you hear me, your girl Silk, go up there in Chicago, go to Baltimore, go to California, go wherever the people want you to come and go, because crime is running rapid. How is it that these same people that want to blame the white man for everything is being governed by Black people, and their cities and their state look the way it look? Now, in DC, President Trump was able to make a change in a matter of 12 days. And you have had this city ran by Democrats for over several decades, and it looked the way it looked. So they get there behind the mic. We're going to clean up the crime. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And nothing gets done. And I keep telling people, Democrats, they thrive off of chaos. They love to create the problem. When you talk about the cashless bail, that's creating a problem. So then when that problem is created, they say, oh my God, the crime is high. We need money. We need money. So then they get the federal money to come in because it's supposed to do what? Fix the crime, fix the homelessness, fix all of the, the drug and the mental illness. It's supposed to fix all of this stuff, right? But then we find ourselves left at the bottom with the problem and the money be gone somewhere. There was millions or billions of dollars that went down there to California to build a bridge, and the money gone, but we still ain't seen no bridge. So that's been the name of the game. How they can take and launder money, do what they call programs and projects, and they turn the citizens, we, into the project is what they do. And just looking at this transgenderism, okay, all right. So we have a dude named Sarah that's sitting there in Congress, all right, and you can be whatever you want to be, but I don't think a dude named Sarah that thinks he's a woman needs to be sitting in Congress depicting our laws for us to be to govern us and to tell us this is what we got to do, for the simple fact, as far as I'm concerned, that person is mentally ill. All right. Now, all of this trans stuff, I don't think that a man should be able to walk around here impersonating a woman. I thought impersonation was nothing but a fraud. Okay. And they need to stop. They need to put a stop to a lot of this different stuff that is going on. Okay. Because when they indoctrinate our mind with all of this stuff, then it becomes what? A problem. Now they can take and turn around and say, oh, we can throw money at it. Now we can say we need money for that. We need money to study this. Do y'all not know that American tax dollars are being used to study rats as transgenders? They are taking and swiping the sats off of the rats to study transgender. That money could have been used to protect students at school, the babies at school. That money could be used to protect. But oh no, they want to take our money and use it for all of this doggone foolishness to create the problem. And once it's created and it's running rampant and they can't get control over it, then they're going to say, oh, I need all of this money. So because we got to control this, we got to do away with this. Look right there in California, girl. Look in California at all of the homelessness that's going on right there and all of the money that done been sent down there to California to help combat the homelessness. And what did they do? They removed the plastic straws, y'all. They and swiped it out for paper straws. Then they gave the drug addicts plastic syringes so that it can facilitate them to do their drugs, which did what? Continue to allow them to be homeless down there on the street. Well, what about the money to combat homelessness? Do you see how they created it? So now they want more money to combat, because then more people is homeless now than before they was calling themselves combating the homelessness. So there in Chicago, there is something going on. Then they want to call it black on black crime. That's what they want to call it, y'all. Black on black crime. In my honest opinion, I believe that whoever the gangs up there that's doing all of this killing, I believe that somebody know exactly who it is, truly who it is. I believe it's a setup from the get up, because at the end of the day, I believe it's all about organ harvesting. I know y'all sitting here saying, Silk, you crazy. But at the end of the day, it's about organ harvesting, because as many bodies are shot dead up there, especially young bodies, they can harvest those organs and sell them to the highest bidder. Why you say that, Silk? Okay. And I can say in my own humble opinion, because many bodies have gotten back to the families only for the family to say, I want another autopsy done, and they, find someone else to do the autopsy, to find out that their children or their loved ones' body parts, their organs are removed, are gone. Okay, so I believe that that's been the game at the end of the day. And what they do is they cover it up and call it gun control or black on black crime. Now, if the people there, if Mayor Brandon Johnson, let's go Brandon, if he can't fix the problem, and he ain't gonna be able to fix the problem, okay, because he's catering to illegal aliens. President Trump needs to send in the National Guard. They need to do whatever is necessary to save human lives. I don't care what color the lives are, they needs to be saved. And that's been one of the main biggest things here in America when it comes down to the crime. And if he can do it, President Trump can fix it, because Brandon Johnson came. What's this Newsom? He came. They came. They've proven that they can't fix it because they've had decades upon decades to fix it. They've had the money to fix it, and it's still running rampant. So President Trump, I say, go in, do what you need to do to save American lives. Do you see any residents, I mean real true residents there in D.C. upset that there's no crime on the ground? There's none of that going on. They are happy that President Trump came in and fixed the problem.
Amen. I agree with you right there 100%. They need to go to Chicago. They need to go to California, clean up New York. Yeah, there's so many places, but definitely those two places for sure right away. And I know you got to go, Silk, but I want to, we know, and God bless the families of the lost and the injured today in the Catholic church with the children. If you guys haven't seen it, that psychopath had a whole manifesto. He did a whole video with his manifesto, and it was, another transgender. But so again, love and prayers go out to the families of all of that. Silk, talk about that, because it kind of goes right in line a little bit about what you're talking about, gun control, and always just making up a narrative. And if you guys, real quickly, if you didn't notice in that video that he did, he said this video is sponsored by BlackRock, and then he did the hand symbolism of the 666. So he's showing the allegiance, and he just was saying he didn't want to be here and all that stuff. But what are your thoughts on that? It's very, very, very sad.
This, first off, y'all, this is not about gun control. This is about mental illness due to the mind-altering chemicals they call medicine that's being prescribed to humans, given a cocktail of hormones and God knows what else to individuals that goes against their body and genetic makeup of their natural body, is going to create the confusion, the conflict, and the mental illness that we are seeing. It's just like pouring oil into my gas tank, you all. That's going to cause the engine not to work. So if you putting all these chemicals in this human body where it should not be, this experimental drugs, this experimental chemicals, it's going to cause a chemical it's going to cause a imbalance, a reaction. Do y'all remember what's that drug called? They call Prozac. Y'all remember back then when they was giving out that antidepressant drugs and all of that different stuff, and people was having these different psychiatric thoughts, these different thoughts, and the suicidal thoughts and different things. Yeah. The same script, different cast with a different mask. And that's what's going on. Don't blame it on the guns. I don't blame it on the guns.
Amen.
I blame it on all of the
mental
stuff that they're putting into these people's body to alter their mind. And then when you tell them a lie and tell them they can get this particular body, this alternate body, and then when they get there and they realize, oh, these people done lied to me. I'm sitting here looking like a super freak. Then they gonna go mentally, it's gonna make you go mentally ill because you done chopped off your woodpecker. Okay, you chopped off your woodpecker because you say you feel like a woman. All right, they take and put something in you. You just ooze and pus and blood, and it don't even do what it needs to do. You okay? You take your skin from your forearm and they build you out a dangalang. All right. And then it don't even erect. It don't even have the nerve in this to do what it needs to do and function as a real man. Now you sitting there with some part on it because some lunatic told you that you can switch out your body parts and it can become a mental, it is a mental illness. It can make a person go plumb crazy because the dream that you told them that you was going to give them, they can't have it. They can't have it. And that's why I think all of this stuff needs to be shut down. All the way from the chemicals, all the way from the doctors, the hospital, the people that's advocating for it down there in Minnesota. They need to shut all of this bullshit. Shut it down and stop indoctrinating our kids with all of these doggone lies. All right, listen, y'all. Y'all can check me out at Diamond the Silk Chit Chat Live over at Lindell TV. Lindell TV, y'all. They calling for me right now. I love y'all. And thank you, Jenny. WatchPardonMe.com.
Love you, girl. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And everybody here, God bless you. And we'll see Silk back here in 2 weeks. And everybody watch for me coming with some coming up spaces. Santino, as always, thank you. And Trump Frog, I see you in here. God bless you. Love you. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.